firstly, we are going to do a video on Yatousen, or the Rapier slash drill. But I'm going to put timestamps in the pinned comments this time. Or, I guess, or the description. I'll put them in both. Fuck it. Right? The reason why I'm doing this is because the last video was so disorganized that there's no way I can do it unless I do a part 2, which I probably will later down the line. But in this video, I already have a structure in mind, so I'm going to stick with that structure, and hopefully it'll all come out a little bit cleaner, a little more efficient. So, firstly, let's go over the structure. We will overview the weapon. Right, we'll talk about strengths and weaknesses. Then I want to talk about key moves, move to some strategy, and then some synergies with other weapons and other moves and stuff like that. So let's start. Yatousen. Yatousen. See, I made a mistake, but again, I don't edit these, so well, I do a little bit of editing, but I try to keep it minimal. Yatousen is basically your single target high damaging weapon. Like, the drill is extremely high damaging. This is very good at like targeting one enemy at a time. As you can see, it's mostly stabs, so you don't really hit a lot of enemies. You have a few moves that have some AoE, but for the most part, you're targeting one boy and you're killing that one boy for the most part. Yeah, no, your drill is, you have very quick normal strings. Your drill holds enemies in place as a really consistent guard point. Basically, it will deflect incoming attacks. That being said, it does have some strengths, it has some weaknesses. Let's go ahead and get into those. So, this is super high damaging for one target, right? You have one target, they'll probably deal them. If they have like a lot of health, chances are like 3 drills will kill them. It'll delimb them at the very least, which is good. Let's see, what else do you have? I mean, that's basically it. Like you're focused on like destroying one target. You're fast, right? Weaknesses are pretty clear. This is actually the most straightforward out of all the weapons to explain. It does have some nuances. Weakness is it's terrible at crowd control. Right? Well, let's not say terrible. Well, yeah, no, I will say it's terrible at crowd control. Doesn't mean you can't crowd control with it. You have to have a little bit of a different strategy than, like, say, your dual swords or your staff. But for the most part, you're just gonna have to have different strategy to crowd control with this boy. Why do I keep calling it a boy? I don't know. That's weird. Let's try to stop. So yeah, strengths and weaknesses, very easy. Let's go ahead and move into the more interesting thing, what people are probably here for, which are what I think are the key moves. Every player will have like different uses for these tools, but these are what I think are really good with the weapon. Your standard string is pretty good. I don't like the finisher on this one. It's a bit better than the dual swords. It has much less recovery. And this one's actually like interesting. Your XXXY, right? Because you can keep mashing Y at the end and just keep stabbing, which is not good in like a regular fight because you will have lots of enemies around and they will be trying to kill you. But if you want to style on an enemy at the very end, I pressed the 1 too many times. Like, it's also kind of awkward to chain link as well. Yeah, let's see if I can do it one more time. Yeah, you just have to hold it while you're doing the thing. You have to hold it while you're mashing Y. So you have to hold block while you're mashing Y, so it links the two things together. Okay. But yeah, those two strings, they're fine. They're not like the best. Honestly, you're probably never going to be using more than 3. So your XY is like a big stab. It has pretty good dealing rate. It's like medium, it's level 2. But it is kind of slow. Your XX is just good. It's just like good combo fodder. XXY is like your light launcher. Pretty simple. Those are like your main key moves. Like you saw, you could do XXXY. And it has a little back step, which is super useful. If you're just gonna dodge out of the way of something real quick. But it's not like amazing. You can't cancel out of it before you go back. So it's, you know, it has some limited use. And if you want to do that, this is much better. But we'll get to that. As far as your Y attacks go, this is fantastic. I think this move is actually really, really good. And the main reason is A, oh, we're going the wrong way. Lots of range. Look at that. There we go. So, pretty good range. The second one doesn't have great range, but ideally, you don't want to whiff the first one. So that means you can do stuff like this. The second reason why it's really good is because you don't have a ton of Y or strong launchers or heavy launchers in the. I didn't mean to do that one. Which means you can chain link into your heavy finishers. And you can do all your weapons, but it's a little bit different with this one because you can start them in the air. Wrong way. And basically, like, the main benefit of that is that, like, because they're starting in the air, you are, for at least your charged ones, you're reducing the amount of time you're on the ground and vulnerable, right? Especially with your dual swords. So again, now it's not perfect, right? You're still on the ground for like a good amount of time, but you do reduce it a bit. And again, that like your Blood Raven heavy finisher for your Y string is like one of the best deliming moves you have. So any way you can get to it quicker or at least safer is good. And obviously, like, oh, I finished it. Shoot, I meant to go. Let's try this one more time. One more time. Something like that. Right, you could probably get a relaunch. I have to do it. I have to try one more time. Go there. Okay. See, you do cool stuff like that with your heavy. So those are your base strings, like what I think are the best base strings. As far as base moves go, your back void X launches you in the air, which you might think, oh, what's the point of, what's good of that? What's good about that? You could just flying swallow. You don't even have to shuriken, you could just go to flying swallow right there. Right, and then what can you do from here? Now I'm behind them, do whatever you want. You can weapon switch if you want, so. I was holding block, it didn't come out. You can weapon switch if you want. That's the next move. You can see me screw up a whole bunch because I know I did these. Okay, last try. Yeah, you have a whole bunch of options from there. That's all you need to know. Basically, you're in the air, you can do whatever you want. It's really good. Let's see, what else is there? You rotate X or your centrifugal dance. I don't love this move. I don't find it super useful. If like you have a bunch of enemies around you, it will knock them away. But like honestly, if that is the situation you have, this is just better. Unless you have nothing. No, of course I do the other one. If you have like no blood or even meter, you're better off switching weapons and doing like something else. Like, I think that's actually slower. This is giving you a faster spinning move, so it's not terrible. I just don't think it's fantastic. Let's see. Let's go to your Y moves. Back forward Y, your rising twister. Really good launcher. Just like wrong move. Holy crap. Just immediate, lots of hits. I think, no, it's level 1, but like lots of hits, so it's likely to delim. Just a good launcher. Yeah, nothing really to say here. Good for like, let's see. Good for stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's all I got for that for now. We'll come back to that attack later. You rotate Y. This move is actually really surprisingly good, and if you follow it up with Y, you get the Y finisher, which has a surprising amount of whatchamacallit, delim. It has a surprising delim rate. Oh, also, this has a surprising delim rate, I guess. Wait, no, it doesn't. I got confused. I'm looking on the side. I'm like, was it level 2? But that's a different move. My fault. But yeah, this is pretty good. Really like this one. I don't know if it has iframes during the spin, but it's so fast that you will avoid a lot of attacks. Alright, so if you're just going, you see an attack, don't do that one. Right there. So like, yeah, you can avoid attacks, and if you want to go the opposite way, just spin the opposite way. So depending on which way you want to go, do you always go the same way? No, you don't. So if you spin clockwise, spin counterclockwise. Hey, I said counterclockwise. There we go. It's weird. But yeah, you can change the direction you spin, and I guess it was an input detection issue. But yeah, so those are your base moves, your base skills. Now let's do your air strings. XXY, use Zuna drop. All you need to know. XY is a spike. It's not great, but it does set up for your Blood Raven projectile. You can also flying swallow after it. I think you have to use the shuriken. Let me double check. Yeah, you have to use the shuriken after it. Or yeah, you have to use shuriken to get the flying swallow, which isn't a huge deal. Then you have your X. Ah, shoot. You gotta be kind of fast with this one. You just get a couple stabs at the end. That one's probably the most useless. But like with the XXXY string, you can mash Y. Can you? I don't think you can. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, that was probably the least useful of all your air strings. Okay, so that's basically all the stuff I wanted to cover in base form. Now we'll go to Blood Raven form. Your X string is pretty good. It's just solid, especially the finisher, because as you can see, the finisher has a backstep. Your XXY has no backstep. This one's a little worse because it doesn't have guard frames early on. So it's like boom, boom. The spin has no guard frames, so you can get hit out of that. So be careful with that move. But it's pretty good, especially for catching enemies out of there. Long finisher. Yeah. Your Y string. Good move. This finishes really good. So your Y string's a little better than your X string in a lot of scenarios because this all power attack moves. So you get 2 chances to break it. And obviously you're hitting all the way around you, so it's not fantastic for crowd control, but it'll do something. Right, and not only that, but like all of these are level 2s, like without charging them. So it's like, so just doing this is pretty good, and like these are expensive though, so keep that in mind. Like these are more expensive than like all your other. No, they're about the same. Well, it's more expensive than that one, and it's definitely more expensive than this. Yeah, this is one of your. It's about the same. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it's not big deal. Okay. Anyway, yeah, these are like, a little expensive for Ys, probably, but they're really, really good. Let's go to your Blood Raven skills. So back forward X is ballistic thrust. This move is weird. Right, so a couple things. Number one, you can control the direction, but it doesn't go so long where like it's super useful to do that. So I don't know. This one seems like a move that I'm not sure what the use is. There's probably something, but it's I don't know what it is currently. But yeah, it's fine, right? Like there is absolutely a use for this move. Like if you just go straight, it's pretty good. But yeah, it's whatever. Let's see, your rotate X. This spin is not bad, like at all. This one's like, wait, let me check the. Yeah, this is level 2. It's not level 2. Okay. So your rotate X is really solid. However, as you can see, it will push enemies to the side and then whiff. This is much better on bosses than it is against normal enemies. Or at least big enemies is pretty good against. Has pretty decent guide point, but it's vertical, like just right in front of you and a little bit behind you, so you can get hit from the sides. So this move is like okay. Again, it's better for big enemies. No, wrong one. Then it's small enemies, because again, it can push them out of the way and then you can whiff. And this is a commitment. Well, no, you can always just keep it short. You can stop it whenever you want. So, you know, do what you will with that information. Okay, so let's get to the Ys. Back forward Y. No, back forward Y is like one of my favorite moves. Like Devilish Mole. Couple reasons. If you hold it, this is really good against bosses who can launch. Goes into a launcher. Really good for obvious reasons. If you don't hold it, it's a little launcher. Which means you can do fun stuff like this. And make that look intentional, but that was not intentional. Right, or if you want to keep the same weapon, right, that's real simple stuff. But yeah, it's also acts as a little launcher. You just have to cancel it with shurikens, or like if you're into the Blood Raven canceling, you could probably do that, but shurikens is faster in that situation, and it keeps them in the air. What else can you do with that? Let's see. Yeah, you can do some cool stuff like that. Rotate Y is what Rotate X wishes it could be. So this move is incredible. Number one, look at this forward travel. You get faster as you go, so pretty good. Other thing is that you have 360-degree protection. Right? Any attack that comes in that's not power attack will get guard pointed. And they will probably get sucked in. Any attack that is a power attack that comes in will probably get broken because you're breaking everything around you. And finally, well, that pretty much covers both of those things. The only thing that will get through this is a power attack from above, and that's if you don't clip their feet, or projectile power attack, which, yeah, eat shit and die at that point, you know? But for all the benefits you're getting, I think it's worth it. Right? Yeah, it's not as, like, DLM powerful as this one, but you get so much benefit that, like, it's absolutely worth it. Let's see. Oh, and then we get to the other skills. I don't know what to call these. So your Blood Raven jump. This move is like great because A, it's a launcher. So big Azuna drop. Your actual follow-ups, that's okay. I mean, it's you slap enemies away. So if there's a cliff, that's really good. This one's a little funny on targeting. Like, it does not care for soft lock as much as everything else, because your Blood Raven jumping moves and gear moves are a bit different than everything else, as you do have more control over them, which means you need to be more precise with them. They're very good. That is not the actual follow-up. That is if I delay. So you do get like all your air options just way high up, but your standard jump Y is a Dragoon dive. Decent DLM. I don't find this one super great. Oh, wrong one again. Oops. But you do have like a slightly bigger shockwave than you think you do. If I could aim it towards him, thank you. Nope. Yeah, you have like actually quite a very large shockwave. Like, you saw how far I was from him. The bloodstain is about how far he was. So yeah, that move has a lot more range than you think it would. So it's better than the X one, but it's like fine. Now here's where we get to the spicy stuff. So this is called propulsion. As you can see on the Blood Raven meter, it's not too expensive, right? We can just like zoom around. But what's really good, the follow-ups don't cost anything. Right? Even on this, the follow-ups cost something. But these ones, they don't cost anything. Which makes them really, really good. Like, you wanna like get to an enemy, boom. Wanna break up a crowd? These are super cheap, they're very good, please use them. They are so good. And something else that's really good about these, I'm going to put this on full. Just to show you. You know how they're really cheap? They also instant kill. You don't have to charge it up, you just do it. So basically, you can get a lot of these for pretty cheap. We're gonna turn that off because that's gonna distract. Ah, no, we'll keep it on because we can use it. If I need to explain something, I can just pop it on. So yeah, those are insanely powerful, especially in Berserk. You can just destroy enemies, especially if they're close together, because it will pop like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, those are your Blood Raven moves. For the most part, I guess I just covered all the skills. Let's just go to the aerial ones. So I'm trying not to chain link so you can see all of them. So you're X string in the air. The last one's particularly good, and I'll get to why in a second. So because you do a dive, So there are certain things you can do. I have to go to this because I'm most comfortable with this. Ah, I screwed it up. Nope, screwed it up. Really? Oh wait, I have to get out of. Yeah. Ah. Hope you can tell I'm not warmed up. There we go. So you can finish on the ground with that. It's pretty good. You can also do. Remember how I said this is not very useful? It's still not. Trying to think. Yeah, stuff like that. Well, even if you don't hold it, that's just a level 2, so that right there is just a level 2 and restands them. Which restands aren't like fantastic in this game necessarily, but you can use them. To set up a relaunch. So yeah, I didn't cover the quadruple X string, so I just did there. It's fine. It spikes them back to the ground. But what else can you ask for, you know? So I think those are all the important moves. Oh wait, no, I forgot. Probably one of your best moves in the game. Possibly the best projectile in the game. Okay, number one, unlike any other projectile, this is a level 2 D-limb, so it is likely D-limb. And even held is level 2. But what's really good is that you can hold it, and they're stuck in place. What's so good about that, you might ask? This is actually kind of hard to land in there. Shit. It's actually really hard to land in there. Well, fuck. You can hold enemies in place for a second. This includes bosses. Right? It doesn't do a ton of damage, but the fact that you can hold enemies in place is really good. Ah, got all measly for a second. What else is there? Obviously, like, it's very likely to just D-limb enemies. Like, let's see. Can we get a wall splat? I think we can. Ah, you're too close to the wall. Get away from the wall, please. Good setup. That's not a good setup. Yeah, kind of. What was it? It was... It's a pretty good setup. Right? This situation where you can hold them in place and then follow up later. This is really good. Let's see. Also, if you just want, if they're getting away from you and you want to try to get that D-limb and then follow up with a decapitation, works super well. This move is fantastic. The only problem is that it's slow, so you can end up missing more than you probably want to. But if you really just need to pop someone, it's still slow, but like, this is much less likely to miss. Right? Oh. Stuff like that. I think that's everything I wanted to cover with the key moves. Okay, so Next, we're going to talk about strategy. How do you make Yatousen work? Well, if you're not trying to weapon switch, or let's say you're focusing on this weapon to learn it like I would, your main strategy is kind of more classic Ninja Gaiden, right? With this weapon, right, your main strategy is to get to these big moves. Not this one particularly. But like, you want to get to that, you want to get to, you especially want to get to this, right? You want to make space to do your Serpent Cleave, right? That's what you want to do with this, right? But with Yatousen, you don't have any big moves that will hit a bunch of enemies. You have some that will hit a few enemies, right? But you don't have the same range as dual swords, right? You don't have the general AoE of this one, and you don't have the range of Kage Hiroko. I have to learn how to pronounce this one before this video comes out, so if anyone can help me with that, that'd be great. But what you want to do is, at least how I play Ninja Gaiden, let's be real, is find isolated enemies, pick them off, right? Because you have the firepower to do so. But while you do have that power, you're not good in a crowded situation because you'll get hit in the back, especially if you're just drilling. Let's talk about drill real quick. Actually, before I continue, we gotta talk about drill. Drill has a specific problem, right? Number one, it does a lot of damage, right? It has pretty good range. And everything in front of this drill will be guard portal, unless it's a power attack. In which case, the first hit and the last hit will break the power attack. The little ticks in between will not break shit. But that's pretty good trade-off, especially if you use these moves, right? Oh no, here it comes. Broken. Right? Or, oh no, here it comes. Technically broken, or avoided. Who knows? What it doesn't do is there is no protection from anywhere around you but in front of you. So in a crowd, if you're just drilling, they can just tear you apart from the sides. Right? Now this move doesn't allow that to happen. And this move has some protection, but it's not a lot. So, like, what do? Well, again, we find enemies who are isolated and we take them out. Oh, well, I didn't know that XXY has a repositioning thing. Okay, see, another video where I learned something with you guys. No, come here. Not that one. It's yeah, that's actually really cool. So it's like so XXY is a mini one of these. That's really good. Okay, actually, I didn't know that. So yeah, I'm learning with y'all. This is amazing. I gotta talk about this move too. So real quick, this one, really good aerial move, level 2. You can just look how fast that is. It's fantastic. Anyway, back to the main thing we were talking about. So yeah, you want to isolate enemies and try to destroy them as fast as possible because you have that ability. Now, a big skill you have to learn with this weapon, like every other weapon, right, because they all have this issue, is you have to be able to be like, nope, you're too dangerous, I'm gonna move on to someone else. Like you're attacking, and then you feel pressure going elsewhere. Up, pressure's gone. Finish him off. Right? That's the idea there. So when you get really good at like being able to tell when you're getting pressured, this weapon becomes much better. Because now you're going to be like, oh, you're isolated, you die, oh, over here, get rid of you, You. Oh, everyone's come over here. Guess who didn't come over here? You didn't, and now you're dead. So you isolate. Gonna be highly mobile. Isolate, destroy. Isolate, destroy. Isolate, destroy. Right? And sometimes you're gonna want to go to the air. So it's like boom, boom. Oh yeah, this chain link stuff I didn't tell you guys all about, but you know, that's fine. You're fine. You don't need to know that super well. Right? Do you guys actually need to know this? Looks sick though, doesn't it? Because you could like, you could do this. No, you can't. You can't go back. Regardless. Because you did the Y, that's why you can go back. Can you do the X? I'm just curious. That's just a little curiosity. Ah, there's a wall. Nope. It's a little late. Nah, I think you can, but it's a little iffy. Let's just try one more time. Ah, maybe. Regardless, yeah. Okay, so you want to isolate them in the air. You want to isolate them with positioning. The single target, so you want to create one-on-ones. That's the main thing you want, right? Of course, if you are in, you have a bunch of flying enemies like Tengus, the air is no longer safe. Like, this is a bad place. So, know your enemies, know your positioning. It's extremely important to making this work. That's the main strategy. Like, as far as like, oh, how does this mix in with like all your weapons as far as weapon switching goes? It's a similar situation, right? Oh, I noticed my enemy's isolated. Right? Oh, I need 360-degree protection. Right? The big thing about weapon switching is knowing the properties of your attacks. So know what you want to do when you switch to Yatousen. Often when I switch to this weapon, I want this move, I want this move, and I want this. And I also want, not that one. I want the X finisher for chain linking. Those are the main moves I want. Now you could find value in other moves because this one, I want to use this one more. I have not learned to like how to fit this in the way I would like to. But it's incredibly good, especially for cheap. Let's see, what else is there? I think it's actually worth switching to the next thing, which the next thing will be this. I know I had a structure before, but I'll change it up and I'll add in like some chain link tips. Right, so your dodge offset. What stuff do you want to get to? You want to get to your Blood Raven X finisher. You want to get to your Blood Raven Y finisher in the air. When I get to that, I really want to get to that one. That one's pretty good. Now here's some fun things you can do with Yatousen's stuff exclusively. So remember this move. If you understand how chain link works in this game, or dodge offset, if a string exists, you can chain link it through it. Meaning, you could do that. You can do that. You could do that. We're not done. But no, wrong move. You can do that. This one's a little tricky. You can do that. That, and finally. Nope. Do that. All of that is available. Right? Because this is a string. So you can always chain link into the last hit as long as you do 360Y. Which is super useful because it's just like an instant follow-up for all of that. Another thing you can do, right? You can do this with all the weapons, and when I get to the ninja tools, I'll do the same section again, right? You can go right to your ninja tools because this is a string. I screwed it up. Right, so you have to get the hits, right? This one's not as useful as like some other ones because you have to actually get the hit to do it. But yeah, that's pretty neat. And you can also do it with this. Nope, wrong one. If you don't charge it, I charged it. What's wrong with me? There we go. You can only do the two because the first one would be the back forward Y. But yeah, it's pretty good stuff. So that's some chain link things you can do. And some goals I personally have with the weapon as far as like linking stuff goes. I already talked about like why this is so good and all the links you can do with it. Finally, I want to end off with like a little bit of nuance with the weapon, right? We've talked a lot about a lot of things. Here's a small nuance with this weapon that's really worth noting. So, when you do a drill, that's technically a combo ender, right? If you look over on the side, right, you have Blood Raven Y, Blood Raven Y hold, and also Blood Raven Y hold, but with the finisher, right? This is a combo ender, technically. Now you're like, but I can continue the combo. You can absolutely continue the combo. But if you look, that's not a great explanation. No, actually this actually works really well. But if you look on your left side, I'm gonna hold it all the way till it finishes. Those are two different moves. The hold and the hold finisher are two different moves. So if you are on harder difficulties, or even like, I don't even know if this is on normal, it might be on normal, against like Kagachi, right? And you'll notice that like, oh, I did this, and then he popped out and hit me. What do I do about that? Real simple answer. Don't finish the move. Right? See how he's still in like hit stun? But if I finish the move, depending on the enemy's recovery, like this is a goober. Look at him. Look at him. Fucking goober. He will stay in hit stun through this, but bosses will not. So what you want to do, try to get as close as you can without finishing. And the secret to doing that is kind of paying attention to when the weapon starts sucking up lead. It's about to explode, when it starts glowing. Now when you hit the end of the string, there is no point in just like not finishing it. So whenever you want to finish it, that's when you want to do it. You want to hold it all the way. But if you don't wait all the way till that point, so everything, your follow-ups will come out faster, right? Number one. Number two, the enemy will be in place a little bit longer. So, understand. So he was stuck in that, in his dual swords thing. So kind of understand like what you're doing. Right? Like pay attention. It's like, oh, I'm holding it, let go. Well, not don't let go, but like holding it, good in my next attack. Holding it, next attack. And finish because I'm at the finisher anyway. So yeah, that's a little bit of nuance about the weapon. A little bit of closing statements. This thing's really good. It's simpler and harder than a lot of other weapons, right? Because it's simpler as in like, it doesn't have a ton of tricks. Right, the nuance section was pretty short. But it does require you to be more aware of your surroundings, more aware of your pressure and positioning, because, like I said, this has protection in the front. So probably a final tip I can give you is if you're going to go for the drill, positioning matters a lot. So if you noticed, they're like, oh, all the enemies are over here, I want to position myself over here before I start drilling. Because if someone comes in, they're probably going to be covered. It's not a guarantee because they can always run around. But whatever you want to drill, try to put yourself on the opposite side of the crowd. Right? Try not to go for too many drills. Keep that simple. You can go for the finisher. Continue your string. Right? So instead of going for another drill, just finish your string. Just chain link back, finish your string. It's much safer. So yeah, positioning is the name of the game with this weapon. Put yourself on the opposite side of the crowd. Feel the pressure, right? If you feel everyone coming towards you, move away. Go find someone else. This guy's not healing himself, right? You'll be able to come back and finish him off later. Yeah, and like again, this thing is incredible for bosses, right? Just don't over drill, right? Remember what I said. Right? Don't always finish off your drills. And as far as like the grand scheme of things goes, like this weapon is, I want something dead now. Right? I don't want the whole crowd dead. No, weapon, because this weapon can't do that. But it's like, you are annoying. You are annoying. I want you gone. But, so yeah, that is Yatousen. I have been like doing Master Ninja back to back is a little exhausting. Right? Like I am getting much better at the game. Obviously I'm in training mode. My brain is going like 10,000 miles an hour, so I am dropping things. But the more I'm playing, the more like the better I'm getting. Making these videos is making me better because I have to think about everything I'm talking about. But I am going to slow down a little bit. This game is exhausting. It's asks you to go 10,000 miles an hour all the time. That being said, hopefully the next video will be out next week, if I can make that work. I'm excited to talk about the staff, because like this weapon has grown on me since I've been playing it. You can do a lot with this weapon, it's very good. But yeah, that's all I got. So